Ptolemy I Soter dies in 283 BC, and there is much of the secularist community that has still yet to be converted into the cult of Serapis by recognizing Serapis as homogeneous with God the Father, Osiris, because Osiris is an African and Ptolemy had Serapis modeled after him, a European invader who was not wanted in Africa. So the secularists are those who are not connected with religion. But it's not just any religion, it's the religion. Theos, like theology, theos means the Greek sanctioned God or religion of the state. This is the one religion that the government has put their stamp of approval on. And in this case, we're dealing with the cult of Serapis, which will later on become Christianity. So at this point, we have the secularists who are doing the right thing by not bowing down to the European gods. They are homeschooling their children. They are resisting racism, white supremacy, and European colonialism. And they are even inventing new prophecies that are supposed to come and expel the unwanted oppressors. They are also just leaving the area and going to other parts of Africa. We also have the Eastern Orthodox Church. These are the compromisers. These are the people who are going along with the cult of Serapis. And this would transition into the Melkite Coptic Egyptians in the Orthodoxy once the Romans come in and take over for the Greek Empire in 30 BC. And just like each succeeding Ptolemy, after Ptolemy I died, each succeeding Ptolemy until 30 BC tries to infiltrate the secularist community with the cult of Serapis in order to better rule. And the Roman rulers also do the same thing because they don't want to start over with another European myth, so they just keep going with Serapis. And that leads us to the Council of Nicaea, which I covered last week. And these Melkites are given clout and status within the Byzantine government and the Byzantine Empire because they are the ones who are doing favors for the invaders and the Europeans, like putting their deity, Serapis, alongside the African deity so that the Africans who were already there and the Europeans who were being flooded in could worship the same deities. So at the Council of Nicaea, they replaced the Sun, Horus, with the European image, Serapis, and they got the homogeneous creed, and also known as the Apostles' Creed, agreed upon at the Council of Nicaea by most of the clergy. Okay, so Arius took a secularist position by rejecting that because he knew that because he wasn't begotten, he wasn't a real SON because he was not born through a human mother. If anything, his mother was still an African, Isis at that point, and of course that wouldn't fly either within the secularist community. So there are still many Africans who are resisting. Okay, so at the Council of Constantinople, they developed the Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed, named after the Council of Constantinople mixed with the Nicene Creed. The Nicene Creed was the one that was expressing that Serapis was the same as Osiris and that this European image is now fully accepted within the divine African triad. So within the Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed, they are modifying the Nicene Creed by adapting so that people like Arius, who had gained substantial following after he left the Orthodox Church and was declared a heretic, can come back into the church, and that the rest of the community will say, okay, there's no more opposition. This is normal to be worshiping this European image as supreme. These Melkite Coptic Egyptians at this point, like Sylvester, are going along with this lie and developing this myth to appease the Romans on behalf of favors like the donation of Constantine, where now these popes are getting extra clerical power over the secular community, which is extremely dangerous. And I'll be back next week to talk.